Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming using C++. We were discussing Unit 2 classes and object. Let's see unit outcomes again. First one is develop relevant friend function to solve given problem. Second one is write C++ program to use array of given objects. Write a C++ program to create the given object using constructor. And the last one is write programs to delete the given object using destructor in C++ program. In the previous video of part 2, we have seen what friend function is, an array of objects. We have also seen how to pass object as function argument and some programs related to this concept. In this video, we will discuss about constructor in C++. So constructor is a special type of function which is invoked automatically at the time of object creation. So we haven't created any constructor in our program yet. Okay, so there should be something behind this logic. Okay, we will see that. It is used to initialize the data members of new object, and constructor has same name as that of class. Therefore it is a special function. Its name cannot be different other than class. Okay, there are two types of constructor: default constructor and parameterized constructor. So let's see properties of constructor first. It should be declared in public section. Constructor cannot be made private. If we made constructor private, so the object of the class can never be created. So it should always be in public section. Constructor does not have return type, not even byte. Why? Because constructor creates object of the class. So what will it return? It will return that object only. So there is no need to write any explicit return type for that constructor. Okay. Constructor cannot be inherited, but derived class constructor can call base class constructor. We'll see this in inheritance. Okay. Like any other C++ function, constructor can also have default arguments. What the default arguments are, we'll see later on. And constructor cannot be virtual. It makes implicit call to new and delete operator. Okay, new and delete operator are used to allocate and deallocate memory dynamically. The first type of constructor is default constructor. It has no argument, so it is called as default argument. Default constructor. It is invoked at the time of creating object. In this example, there is class employee. It is having one constructor. This is the default constructor. It's printing default constructor invoked. Okay. In the main function, we have created two objects, E1 and E2. So for both objects, this constructor will be called. So in the previous program, we have never written such type of default constructor. So even if we do not write default constructor, compiler automatically writes it for us. Okay, so we haven't written any default constructor in our program previously. The next is parameterized constructor. A constructor which has parameters is called as parameterized constructor, and it is used to provide different values to distinct objects. Like when we want to create multiple objects and we do not want same values to all the objects, we use parameterized constructor. Like in this program, we have created a class employee and it has two data members, ID and salary. And first constructor is parameterized constructor. It is having two parameters, integer I and float s. So whomsoever creates object, it has to pass two parameters to this constructor, and it will initialize id to I and salary to s. Okay, and it will display. There is some jumbling in this code. We'll see this example in Turbo C, so do not worry about that. It will display id and salary. Okay, two objects are created, E1 and E2. So there are two ways to create objects when we use parameterized constructor. One is we make the explicit calls to constructor like this: employee e2, and in bracket we pass two parameters. And another way is implicit call to constructor, that is employee e1 equals to employee and in bracket 101 and the salary. Okay, let's see this example in Turbo C. Employee.cpp. So we have seen that there are two members that will be initialized with the constructor. Constructor is in public section, and in the main function we have created two objects. First, this is implicit call to constructor, and this is explicit call to constructor. We have written implicitly here constructor, and we haven't provided any name here, so it will, the compiler will look at this. Okay, and we have called display a1.display and e2.display. Let's see the output of this program. So first one is 101 and 80,000, and 102 is 2 and 90,000. So when object e1 is created, the constructor will be called, and it will set id to 101 and salary to 80,000. And when e2 is called, or e2 is created, it will set id to 102 and salary to 90,000. So the output is like this. Okay, moving ahead, now we'll discuss about multiple constructor in class. Can we have multiple constructor in class? Yes, we can. We can have default constructor and two or more parameterized constructor in a program. Okay, so here the class is student demo, and there are two constructors. One is default constructor, it has no argument, so it is called as default constructor. And this is parameterized constructor, it has two parameters. But see here, this is default argument. Okay, how to pass a default argument? We set value of the argument, and it starts from left to right. Okay, so a is default argument. How this will work, we'll see in program. So three objects are created here. Object S1 is created using default constructor. Okay, so roll number equals to 0 and age equals to 0. S2 is created, and one argument is passed to the parameterized constructor, and the second argument will be default. Okay, so roll number equals to 5 and age equals to 20. And the last one, when we pass both parameters, so default argument will be overridden. Now roll number equals to 10 and age equals to 25. Let's see this program in Turbo C. Student demo. Class name is, file name is studentdemo.cpp. So this is our class student demo. Integer roll number and integer is two instance variables are there, and one default constructor. We have written constructor in public section. We cannot write this constructor in private. If you write constructor in private, then object cannot be created, since private members can only be accessed within the class. Second constructor is parameterized constructor. It has two parameters, roll number and a, but this second parameter is default argument. Okay, in display function it is displaying roll number and age. So here we have created three objects, S1, S2 and S3. S1 will be created using default argument, and S2 and S3 will be created using parameterized constructor. But when S2 is created, the default argument will be set, that is age equals to a, and when s3 is created, integer roll number will be equals to 10 and age will be equals to 20. Let's see the output. So roll number equals to 0, age equals to 0, that was s1. Roll number equals to 5, age equals to 22, that was s2. And roll number equals to 10 and age equals to 25, that is s3. Okay, so this is how we create multiple constructor in class. The next is destructor. What the destructor is? It is also a special type of function like constructor. It is having same name as that of class, but it is preceded by a tilde. Okay, it is used to destroy objects that have been created by a constructor. It never takes any argument nor return any value, and it is invoked implicitly by compiler upon exit of program to clean up the storage. We do not call destructor explicitly, it is invoked implicitly. So let's see the example. We have created one class alpha. In that, one default constructor is there. It is one global variable is there, integer count equals to 0. It is incrementing count plus plus, and one line will be printed every time object is created, number of objects created, and that count. The when first object will be created, it will be 1, and when the second object will be created, it will be 2, and same way when the third object will be created, the output will be number of objects created 3. Okay, and this is the destructor. So we precede the class name with tilde, so this will be our destructor, and it will also print number of object destroyed and count minus minus. So the first object will be destroyed. Which one will be destroyed first? The object which has created last, so it will destroy first. So the first a3 will be destroyed, then a2, and then a1. Let's see the program. Global variable count initialized to 0. Count is incremented every time in constructor and decremented in destructor. And this line creates 3 objects, a1, a2, a3. For every object, constructor will be called first in this sequence a1, a2, a3, and destructor will call in the reverse sequence. Let's see the output. Output can be seen using window output. The number of object created 1, number of object created 2, number of object created 3, and number of object destroyed 3, number of object destroyed 2, and number of object destroyed 1. That means the creation sequence is reversed while destroying the object. So this was all about constructor and destructor. We'll stop here and this way we have completed our unit 2, that is classes and object. In the next lecture we'll start our unit 3, extending classes using inheritance. Till then, goodbye.